IoTeX community. How's everyone doing? You got Larry here, head of ecosystem at IoTeX. We got a really special town hall for you guys today. It's been a while since we've done a town hall, so we're really excited to share all the latest updates from the IoTeX team and the IoTeX network more broadly. It's a really exciting time for IoTeX right now, with more and more attention going towards the intersection of the physical and digital worlds within Web3. And we're really excited to just be part of that journey and lead this new wave of Web3. So this discussion is going to be very broad. We're going to go through all the latest updates in the IoTeX ecosystem. For those that follow us very closely, maybe a little repeat content, but with all the new members joining our community lately, really excited to show everyone what the IoTeX ecosystem is all about. And we're going to wrap it up today with a special co-founders panel with Raullen, Qevan, and Jing to share a little bit about what's next. And, we always like to kick it off to see what kind of countries people are tuning in from. We see Bahrain, we see Tucson, Arizona, we got Singapore in the house, we got China, Tel Aviv, Indonesia, excuse me. We got Turkey, we have another Arizona in the house, and we got the Philippines as well. Pakistan, California, Canada, Scotland, amazing. It's really great to see all of the diversity in the IoTeX ecosystem here. So, we're going to kick things off with kind of an overview of the state of the network. Lots has been going on in the IoTeX ecosystem, some behind the scenes, some more public facing. So we're going to cover both, right? We're going to cover all of the public announcements we've been making, as well as some of the things we've been working on behind the scenes that we're really excited to get out into the open. I'm going to also talk about a couple of new governance initiatives within IoTeX. We just kicked off a new governance process and kind of revamped our forum to be more discussion focused. So I'm going to walk through how community members can participate and help shape the future of IoTeX through the decentralized governance process. And as I mentioned, we're going to wrap things up today with an awesome panel with the co-founders on all things IoTeX. So with that, why don't we just get started? So, I'm going to walk through a little bit of the state of the network. Here's some stats for you to look at first, right? So this is Q3 2022 by the numbers. When I was updating this slide based on our end of year discussion last year, it's incredible to see some of these numbers double or even triple. So all of that progress we made in 2021 carrying over to 2022. And at the current time, we have 47 million transactions processed by our blockchain, over 19 million blocks produced all time. We got over 350,000 wallets and 150,000 global IoPay users, 50,000 staking wallets. Over 32% of the total supply of IoTeX is staked. So that's 3.1 billion IoTeX staked for governance and for security of the network. Over 70 delegates helping to maintain and produce blocks for the network. 50 plus tokens launched on IoTeX to date, both XRC20 and those bridged from IoTube. We have about 14,500 devices registered to the IoTeX network, and that's one stat that continues to grow constantly. Over 160 projects and partners within our ecosystem building the future of MachineFi along with us. And right now we're at mainnet version 1.8, already released many updates to the code base over the past few months or so. So, this snapshot really just shows the evolution of IoTeX from being a platform to being a true ecosystem, right? All the partners, all the developers, all the investors, all the delegates really coming together to just really build the future of IoTeX and the future of MachineFi. Before we get into anything too technical or product-wise, just want to show, similar to all the great voices we had sharing where they were tuning in from. IoTeX is really going international these days. And part of the reason is because we've been on the road. Post-COVID, travel restrictions are a little lower, although many people tend to get COVID at these conferences. It's great to see the international community really, bind together through this common denominator of being part of the IoTeX community. So just in the past few months, we have a lot of great activity. Here's Simone in ETH Amsterdam and Dev Connect. all eyes on Simone giving a little spiel about what IoTeX is all about. Here is Ollie, Dan, myself, and Simone in Barcelona at an IoT conference called IoT Solutions World Congress, where we got to interact with lots of traditional IoT folks and help bring Web3 to the Web2 community as well. Here's Simone again. He's been busy on the road. Here he is in Paris at ETHCC with a room full of folks exploring what MachineFi is all about. Here's me earlier this year in Dubai giving a keynote at the World Blockchain Summit. And even more, we were at Consensus. We got many team members out there. Marcos, Christian, Aaron, Claire, myself, and Jing were at Consensus in Austin. And here's Raullen at NFT NYC in New York City with Raymond Liao, the managing partner of Samsung Next and the CEO of Certic. So really great to meet all the different community members out there and welcome, these interactions on a global scale. It's really amazing to see. Getting to some of the tech updates, right? So we've been really hard at work, constantly improving the infrastructure and the tooling around the IoTeX network. It seems like just yesterday we launched mainnet 1.6 at the beginning of the year. We launched mainnet 1.7 and mainnet 1.8, and these included a lot of security, stability, scalability improvements, but also functionality, right? Mainnet 1.8 was a really important code release for us to introduce staking via MetaMask and Trust Wallet and other Web3 wallets. So really making IoTeX compatible with all the favorite tooling and all the favorite other cross-chain networks. In addition, we're constantly making the developer tooling even more robust. We launched Analytics V2 recently, so people can get a deeper understanding of the transaction volumes and the activity on the chain. And that's just the start, right? At the end of this kind of mini presentation, I'll share a little bit more about the stuff that's more behind the scenes that we've kind of been teasing, but almost getting to the finish line here, guys. It's going to be really, really exciting. As part of the, who's using these blockchain, who's using these tools, this year, hopefully you guys have noticed, is really all about building the developer community. And one of the really important ways to do that is through our Halo Grants program, which is booming these days. I think we've issued more than 100 grants so far to GameFi, to DeFi, and especially MachineFi builders that are really bringing a lot of their expertise in traditional industries and bringing it to the Web3 space. So it's really amazing that IoTeX is in the position now, not only to build our own products and our own applications, but also to encourage others and inspire others to build very similar products and even things that we've never even thought about, right? So shout out to everyone that's participating in the grants program. This is an open process. If you want to take a look at those grants that are either seeking feedback or have been accepted or kind of closing out their grants process, head to the IoTeX forum, community.iotex.io. And the other exciting part is it's not just applications and software being included in these grants now. We're starting to see a lot of great hardware related grants, whether it's hardware tied to a specific application or just bringing new pieces of hardware to the ecosystem. So this, if anyone caught Simone's latest developer session, he introduced this device, which is a steps counter. And he's building a lot of cool walk to earn, activity to earn style use cases with it. And here's actually a Pebble tracker like board that's built with Arduino from a team called Stettel in Italy. And it's really exciting to see new types of hardware being brought to the IoTeX ecosystem. And all of that is going to tie into some of these new behind the scenes kind of products we've been working on, specifically this device SDK and our Webstream data oracle. But again, for those that are interested in contributing to the IoTeX network, it doesn't have to be technology. It could be, education. It could be research. Really hope you join our Halo Grants program. And we'll have some updates on this to carve out some more specific tracks for Halo very soon. Part of this development is also, people are starting to use Pebble Tracker for a lot of interesting proofs of concept and exploring what real world data on chain can do for a DApp, right? So Pebble Tracker is now listed on one of the largest electronics distributors in the world called Mouser, and you can anyone can purchase a Pebble Tracker on Mouser. And shout out to EnviroBlock. I know you're watching here, Will. They're starting to use Pebble Trackers to track attic data for their use case, right? So really tracking a lot of real world metrics to which they're going to be eventually tying token incentives to. So really excited to see the Pebble Tracker developer community also sprouting. A great way to get involved if you're a developer watching this right now is we started a new segment called IoTexperts with Simone, with Jeremy, and Robert, who are kind of our developer relations team and just developer maestros in itself. They know everything about building on IoTeX and are here to share that knowledge in this open format. So these IoTexpert sessions are happening every 2 weeks. You see that Raullen was actually a part of the last one. So you get to see a lot of, you get the usual suspects of Robert, Simone, and Jeremy, but we're going to be bringing in parts of the core people from the core team and also people from the community. So I think EnviroBlock was also on the last IoTexperts dev session. So this is a great place to just get your questions answered. If you're new to blockchain development, it's great for you. If you're advanced and really trying to push the boundaries of MachineFi, it's also for you, right? So these are all open office hours and part of our initiative to really build out that developer community and make the IoTeX developer community one of the strongest in the world. So that's kind of like the blockchain and the infrastructure and the developer focus. But, we've also been putting a lot of focus onto our network products that are more user facing, right? For those that have used IOPay 2.0, we've gotten a lot of amazing feedback that it's their favorite crypto wallet in the entire space. And it's gotten even better. We've launched IOPay 2.0, which has brought multi-chain functionality to the IOPay wallet. So you can now manage all of your tokens and your assets and engage with dApps on the IoTeX network, and also Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, and many other kind of layer 2s and other layer 1s coming soon. So if you haven't given IOPay 2.0 a go, definitely check it out. Here's a little bit of like an earlier screenshot about this kind of multi-chain functionality. So you can see IoTeX, Ethereum, Binance Chain, Polygon, and it's just a great way to insert IoTeX into the leading layer 1s, right? So we know as the crypto and Web3 ecosystem becomes less tribal, more and more people are tapping into applications on different ecosystems. It's great to have a wallet that allows people to hop between networks, and eventually will fuel a lot of these cross-chain activities where maybe dApps stretch across IoTeX and other platforms. We're just seeing more and more, right? So this is a really important tool for us to bring this kind of multi-chain vibe to the IoTeX network. In addition to that, it's not only our wallets that are becoming more IoTeX compatible, but we've seen IoTeX be listed on many third-party wallets and additional new exchanges, right? So, following the huge amount of exchange listings we had kind of earlier this year with, Coinbase and Huobi and several others, just in the past few months, we also welcomed Bittrex and OKCoin, two of the largest exchanges in the world that are now have listed IoTeX for trading. We've seen the Onto wallet, BitKeep, Rabby, and CoinHub add IoTeX compatibility to their wallets. And like I mentioned with mainnet version 1.8, we've added staking via MetaMask and Trust Wallet. So there's more and more ways to access IoTeX tokens and also, interact through whatever wallet you find is more suitable for yourself, right? We still think IOPay is worth a shot to give it a try. But if you guys are using other wallets, IoTeX is coming to a wallet soon that you use on a daily basis. So excited to see. This also opens up a lot of opportunities for IoTeX ecosystem projects, right? Now that IoTeX is built in to these wallets and exchanges, it carves a clearer path for our ecosystem projects to get listed on the same because these integrations are kind of at a chain level. So excited to see what's coming for the future. Jumping to another piece of really important news that was a really important milestone for us is our fundraise. We've welcomed some of the top investors in both the IoT and the Web3 space with this new entity called MachineFi Lab. MachineFi Lab is similar to, I guess, the consensus of Ethereum, or the Solana Labs for Solana, Ava Labs for Avalanche. MachineFi Lab is really meant to expand the usage and the number of applications that are being built on top of IoTeX. And with this new fundraise, we welcome Samsung Next, Jump Crypto, and Draper Dragon as our new lead investors, with participation from some of the largest VCs in the world as well, including Hashkey, WeMade, IOSG, Escape Velocity, Goodwater, the ex-Googlers group, and many, many more, right? So this just shows it's not, it's really an important time for the blockchain and IoT space. More and more people are looking into this as the next big wave for Web3. These kind of token incentivized and physical infrastructure networks, expanding Web3 not just to the digital world but the physical world. This narrative is not only making intuitive sense, but people are putting their money where their mouth is, and that's just a show of commitment and show of interest. And it's also great to see these guys are not just putting their money into IoTeX, but also sharing their views about why MachineFi is going to be the future. Samsung Next believes MachineFi will enable developers worldwide to build game-changing DApps and to bootstrap machine networks in months rather than years. And this is coming from an organization that is at the forefront of blockchain, AI, and IoT. So they see MachineFi as a very important pillar to empower the next wave of not just Web3, but technology as a whole, right? Draper Dragon also wrote a great Medium article about what the new machine economy and how that's going to revolutionize everyday life. And, we have Zachary from Google, the Zugler Ventures GP, also sharing his thoughts. So, these are really great reads if you haven't checked them out already. We really hope that more and more people will share their thoughts also openly about what MachineFi means to them, especially you guys watching. It's all about evangelizing this concept that we all truly believe in. Another great benefit of MachineFi coming to the forefront is many media outlets and even crypto research firms are now starting to write really great reports about what MachineFi is, the future addressable market for MachineFi, and you'll see Xinxin being featured in Forbes, and a great new report from Asari just dropped that gives a really great overview of IoTeX, right? So really recommend you guys poke around, read this Masari report, check out the Forbes articles that Xinxin's been featured in, and check out these MachineFi investor overviews. So we're going to dig into this a little bit more with Jing during the co-founders chat, but this is just a really important milestone, right? I think the legitimacy of having these backers and a community of developers and a huge global network of users is just wind in our sails to help the core team and help our developers really bring IoTeX to the next level. So we covered a lot, right? I want to share a little bit what's coming next. We're going to dive into this a bit during the co-founders panel. But what's coming next? We've been working a lot on a few different important pieces of technology that are going to have their own technical white papers and their own really detailed descriptions. But I'm just going to highlight a little bit of the stuff and why we're building this, right? IoTeX lately has been thinking a lot about trusted devices and trusted data, right? Really important prerequisites to any types of DApps that are going to be using real world data in their applications. So part of the trusted devices part is this new MachineFi device SDK, right? A suite of hardware and software toolkits that allows builders to easily register, connect, and secure devices to the IoTeX network. This is step one, right? If we don't trust the devices that are being connected to the IoTeX network, how can we trust the data that's coming from them? So this MachineFi device SDK, we're working alongside some big names, all different types of open source technologies bundled together to create, device management services, cryptography services, device identity through DID and verifiable credentials, and a lot of messaging and connectivity solutions that, again, allow builders to easily connect, register, and secure their devices to the IoTeX network. So once we have trusted devices, the next part is making sure the data that's coming from them is verifiable and trustworthy as well. And this is one of the biggest launches we're going to be having, and it's coming very soon. It's going to be Webstream, right? Some of you may know this product as TrueStream. We've changed the name to Webstream. You can see it's more like a Web3 stream. Apparently, there's many TrueStream products out there, so we had to find a unique name. And I think Webstream is going to be a really important pillar of this end-to-end MachineFi tech stack. What is Webstream? It's a computational oracle that converts real-world data from devices into verifiable DApp-ready proofs. So Webstream kind of is a layer 2 protocol that sits in between the blockchain and the real-world IoT devices. And these devices that are going to be registered and secured to the chain, we're going to pass along data to Webstream. Webstream is composed of several different compute and storage nodes that will ingest this device data, generate a proof, and submit that proof to the blockchain, right? So it serves many purposes. One is it makes these proofs very programmable, lets people really run analyses on data before putting it on the blockchain, and also just disintermediates kind of this activity, right? It doesn't make sense to put your raw data on a blockchain, both for privacy, security, and also cost reasons, right? So Webstream is going to be a really important layer to power this future of MachineFi. And we're already working with a lot of developer groups behind the scenes to make this happen. And it's not going to be too long before you see the official launch, but we've been teasing this a little in different areas. It's coming very, very soon. And finally, with Metapebble, Metapebble, we're going to dive into this a little bit during the co-founder session with Qevan. But Metapebble is, we've kind of taken a new approach to Metapebble, right? We kind of introduced it as more of a scoped product. But over the past few months, we've really tried to expand it, not to something that users can use, but that developers can build with for users to use, right? So that extra step of making it more programmable, about thinking about how this fits into other projects' DApps instead of just serving as a proof of presence for the IoTeX network. This has been a really interesting journey that we've gotten to talk to a lot of developers and say, if you were to use GPS data or health data or other types of data from your mobile device in your DApps, how would you want to access that, and how would you want to build it into your application? So it's been a very rewarding journey to work with developers. And I know there's a lot of questions from the community for Metapebble, but just know we're working hard behind the scenes to make this the best product possible. So hopefully I didn't give too much away, a little teaser about what's coming next. But before we welcome the co-founders into our panel presentation, I want to talk a little bit about our new governance kickoff initiative. So for those that follow our Twitter and our social channels a lot, you've seen some announcements related to our revamped IoTeX forum and our new governance process, right? But this is really our way to bring the global IoTeX community into the decision-making process about how we make the IoTeX network the most fair and grow it the fastest, right? So it all starts with the new IoTeX forum. For those that have used the forum in the past, the forum was a little bit messy. It had a lot of different categories. All the different support questions were kind of bundled in there, developer questions. So we've decided to really separate these out into different channels, right? Those that are seeking support, there's a Zendesk and an email, a support at iotex.io. That's going to be the main channel for support. We also have the developer Discord, which is going to address most of the developer questions. And we're really reserving the IoTeX forum for things like product feedback, for things like community debates, for things like governance proposals, and also kind of Halo grants, right? So things that are more, broadly applicable, not one-on-one support questions. So you're going to see us implementing these changes. So just want to give everyone a heads up that the IoTeX forum is the place that's going to house a lot of the official community discussions. A lot of those discussions are going to be centered around governance, right? For those that haven't checked out our new governance process, you can read it at iotex.io/blog/governance-process. It really explains kind of our starting point for this new governance process, right? Over time, this governance process is going to evolve to, decentralize different components, to bring more stakeholders into the process itself. But for now, the process looks like this. Delegates of the IoTeX network, meaning those that have sufficient skin in the game, are going to be able to propose ideas in the governance category of the forum. Once sufficient backing is given to these ideas, meaning more than 50 upvotes for the idea, that's going to turn into an official proposal that all stakeholders are going to vote on. And if that proposal passes, then the foundation and third-party developers are going to go ahead and implement those changes. So over time, we do want to allow anyone to make proposals, but we want to ensure these proposals are high quality and informed. So we're going to keep it to delegates for now, but there's a lot more information on the starting point for governance and what's coming next in this blog. So make sure to check that out. And we have 2 governance discussions live right now, and I just want to quickly go over them. A lot more detail in the actual proposals, right? But one governance proposal we've kicked off is an update to Burn Drop. Burn Drop is a tokenomics program where for every new device that's registered to IoTeX, certain amount of IoTeX is burned, dropped, and added to different types of buckets to support different ecosystem initiatives, right? So this burn drop update presents a proposal where we feel that the creation of a MachineFi DAO, which will receive IoTeX from the burn drop program and provide funding and incentives for MachineFi builders. Those that were familiar with the burn drop of the past are familiar with the airdrip program. It's not that the airdrip program will not continue, but it will receive funds from this MachineFi DAO. But it's going to be more community voted, right? We want to hear your voice about how this portion of tokens is ultimately going to be used. So that's one part of the proposal. The other part of the proposal is kind of updating the ratio of tokens that are allocated to these actions, burn, drop, and the MachineFi DAO to 25, 50% respectively. And the drip bucket will be kind of consumed into the MachineFi DAO bucket. So, we've gotten probably 50 or so comments on this already. And it's really just amazing to hear all of the feedback. We're taking it very seriously. And we've had many internal discussions about how do we reach a win-win situation where, we address all the feedback and, still keep the broader, long-term ecosystem in mind, but making sure the individual folks that have been with us have their voices heard and get the things that they deserve from this proposal. So definitely check out the burn drop update. We're going to be, based on this feedback, we're going to be presenting an iteration of the proposal to include things that we've learned throughout this feedback process. But definitely check this out. It's a lot of great discussion going on. And one of the newer ones that we've launched is around the Delegates program, right? So the Delegates program was launched back in 2018 or 2019, right? So it's stood the test of time. The whole, delegates, role deposts, and slashing mechanisms that we've implemented to date have stood the test of time to the point where IoTeX has been 100% uptime, right? But it doesn't mean that there can't be improvements to welcome new delegates to the ecosystem, to increase some of the hardware requirements to make sure, the nodes that are serving the IoTeX network are as robust as possible. Adding new permissions to what delegates can do. As I mentioned, delegates right now are the ones that can submit ideas for governance. Even things like increasing the number of consensus delegates or adjustments to staking rewards. We want to hear all your feedback. This is less of a closed proposal as Burn Drop was. This is really just a call for feedback. So we know there's a lot of passionate ideas about how we can adjust IoTeX. There's also a lot of education, right? Because we've dug into a lot of the other delegates programs of other networks and understood what's good and bad. So I think this is a perfect forum for us to share our learnings and to hear the community's feedback so we can come to an agreement about how to make IoTeX the absolute best, right? So with that, encourage everyone to join the discussion at community.iotex.io. And this is all going to be very fluid. We're going to be making additional changes throughout the next few months. So really looking forward to engaging with you guys on this level. Awesome. With that, I want to welcome our IoTeX co-founders for a brief chat just about what's going on the IoTeX ecosystem. I think Raullen might be still hopping off a call, but I have Jing and I have Qevan with me today. How's everyone doing?
Hi, everyone. Great to meet you.
Hello.
Awesome. We have Raullen as well. I'm going to drop him in here. Awesome. Well, this is a special surprise. We don't get this very often. We have all three of the IoTeX co-founders here, and I think everyone knows who you guys are. But if not, maybe you guys can share, who you are and kind of what you work on at IoTeX these days. Maybe Raullen kick things off. Oh, you might be on mute, Raullen. Jing, why don't you go ahead?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. Really nice to be here again. My name is Jing. I'm one of the co-founders. My role here is more like focusing on how to empower our builders, to incubate, the products and for the investment to bring the more, investors and the capitals and talents into the IoTeX ecosystem.
Awesome. Thanks, Jing. Qevan, why don't you go next?
Hello, Qevan, co-founder at IoTeX. I'm mainly in charge of tech and products, and also working with developers to get their needs and incorporating our developer platform.
Awesome, thanks. And Raullen, you're in a Metaverse Cafe. Give a short intro.
Yeah. So this is Raullen. So I'm the co-founder of IoTeX. So definitely in charge of strategy, a lot of research, and also what do we do next?
Awesome. Well, yeah, this is all going to be about adding some context to what we've been doing and also sharing a little bit about what's next, right? So just kicking off with Raullen, so much is going on in the crypto space, especially over the past 6 months. The headlines have all been about price and regulation, but also a lot of new opportunity that's budding with MachineFi. So, just to kick things off, what are your views about the overall crypto industry right now and IoTex's role in the next phase of Web3?
Yeah, of course. As we all know, the market is kind of deleveraging, starting from maybe Q2 this year, the Luna Terra stuff, then the market is kind of going down. But the innovation has never been deleveraged, right? So innovation still keeps going. I think what we do is definitely one of those the teams that has a giant vision and also execution in terms of innovation. It's a basic time for us to really build the MachineFi, the entire sector, ground up, because the market has been quiet, so there's no much noise, no much distraction, and we see a lot of talents also kind of coming to us because so what we're doing is trying to change the world fundamentally by connecting the device data real world to the crypto DApps developer space. Yeah, so super pumped about what we're doing, and the team is definitely still growing. That's we just want to set up ourselves in a very solid way. So for the next bull run.
Yeah, and that's clear from all the activities I just shared, right? There's so many different stakeholder sets now between developers, investors, and users, and really taking a lot of big efforts to make all that possible. And yeah, I think the bear market is the best time to build, right? And that's what IoTeX does best. So a lot of cool stuff going to come out soon. Jing, we mentioned a little bit about the recent fundraising round, right? And you were definitely the most involved in that piece. So MachineFi Lab, completed a funding round of $10 million at $100 million valuation, led by Samsung Next, Jump Crypto, and Draper Dragon. What is MachineFi Lab, and why do investors believe in it from your perspective?
Sure, definitely. This is definitely one of the big milestone we achieved this year. I think just Larry just introduced a little bit about the MachineFi Lab. So basically, actually, this lab, we said is more like R&D and incubation kind of lab to drive the adoption of the MachineFi vision or the entire MachineFi category, right? So there's two parts. One part will be the R&D, which will just like, our core development team, they will be able to focusing on building the, important infrastructure, developer tools, and, user onboarding kind of, portals and products to help, developers to build and to help users to use, right? So that's very core part. But there's another very big part, for the vision mission, led by this lab, is about how to empower or even accelerate, the ecosystem projects they can building on top of, the IoTeX platform under this MachineFi category. So that, there are a lot of the capital, those capital help us to have enough kind of, resources, right? So we can hire more the best kind of class of the developer to build. Also help us to launch those initiatives, including the, the acceleration programs, including, the incubator program, and so that we'll have the capital to invest in those, early stage MachineFi projects, builders, and even just like onboard those, Web 2, device and manufacturer companies, so that they will be able to connect their devices with our MachineFi model, or they can kind of create the Web 3, MachineFi applications on top of us. So that's a kind of the major, the purpose, what is this MachineFi lab is about. And then answering another question, right? So you say about, why those investors believe in, this vision. So basically you will say, we have a very good round, with all the top tier, Silicon Valley and, global investors, including, Samsung Next, including, all the other Draper Dragon. Those are all kind of, legacy VC investors, and which are kind of invest a lot of the innovations, cutting edge technology in the space for decades, right? So there is actually just like, a big consensus, when we share our vision, what we have built, is like, when they are investing in the Web3, they see actually this Web3 industry definitely have, the biggest potential and has the biggest impact to, impact the world and the society for the next decades, right? But actually, just like this trend actually just like evolve in phases. When they see kind of just like maybe the first adoption will be driven by DeFi, NFT, those more kind of virtual or, kind of use cases. And definitely just like, so this $1 trillion market will be, the next phase will be driven by the real world, right? So this is the biggest kind of, adoption question, how they can drive, the utility of this new technology. And then just like, they see us, our MachineFi category, it has the biggest chance and also really fit into this trend, which is how to connect the real world devices machine, which is trillions, billions of the devices that will be connected, in the next decades. And, furthermore, and to bring this, 1 billion device users into the Web3. So that part is really kind of good fit into their thesis. And to see, we share the similar kind of vision about just like how the next, kind of phase of the adoption for the Web3 should fit into this scenario.
Yeah, very well put. I do think that everyone in crypto that's interested in finance or DAOs or collectibles via NFTs are already in Web3, right? But there's a huge class of people that doesn't relate to that stuff, but they use devices on a daily basis. They want to be rewarded for the physical activities that they do, or be incentivized to change their behavior in a positive way. And I think that's really going to resonate, right? So very, very cool stuff. Awesome. Qevan, jumping a little bit to the products, I teased a little bit about this during the presentation, but you have all the context here. So, the community's loving the new IoPay wallet, and the functionality of IoTex's suite of products is just growing day by day. But what's in store for the coming months? There's a lot of things that are being worked on behind the scenes. I know you have a little presentation you wanted to walk through. So why don't we go through that?
Yeah. So I'm very excited to talk about this. I really want to talk about Metapebble first, which has been we have been developing for a couple months. We are actually making the Metapebble as a developing platform for dApps with trusted locations. With that, we are going to launch developer kits, which include the Metapebble app itself and also a Metapebble Webstream service, which is a hosted service. And together with that, we also provide the user permission system that the developer can register their dApp with the system, and they will ask users permission and for whatever data they are using from the user side. Yeah. So yeah, can turn to the next slide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what the developer actually need here is they need to sign up with whatever wallet they are using, and then they register the dApp with the name and logo, and after that they can have their own client secret, and with the secret they can query the user's data. Of course, they need the user permission to do that, and just consider you are kind of like querying a user device signed location, and also but after user grants the permission there. Yeah, if you are developers, yeah, please talk to us. And right now we have the developer preview version, and yeah, with limited access, I can share with you, and just feel free to talk to us. So the yeah, so the next thing is a journal Webstream developer kits. Yeah, Larry talked about the Webstream earlier, and what I want to say here is if you want to build your own mobile apps and embedded apps on different devices, we are working on the mobile SDK and embedded SDK for Webstream. Of course, the Webstream service by itself. And we are also working on a command line interface to allow developers very easily to build their apps there. Yeah, just talk to us. Right now we are still building on this, and yeah, we have a very early version here. I'm also very glad to show to you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in, working with the preview versions of Webstream and Metapebble, that is, give us a shout, hello@IoTeX.io, or reach out to us on Discord to get in touch with some of the folks that are already playing with these awesome tools. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on with IoPay as well, right?
Yeah. So IoPay, I think the changes are more obvious. I am going to go through with them very quickly. In the just released version 2.1, yeah, we provide a new user tool so that people who are first users can learn about the wallet and which feature is on which is at which place. Brief intro. And we are also we just introduced IoPay Earn, which basically lists all the products that offer earn opportunities. For this one, we right now partner with Filda, and we'll do do the earn products with more partners as well. And also there's a buy entry point that where user can buy IoTeX through the partners like ChangeNow and Mimo. Yeah, can you? Right now we also have a built-in swap feature, which means you do not have to go to a dApp to do the swap. It's very handy, and you can directly swap tokens on Mimo, and we are also working with Uniswap and other swaps as well. And currently, because IOP we want to support more and more networks, and for the last release version, Arbitron, Avalanche, Phantom has been supported, and also user can customize their networks as needed as well. Also, we introduced the profile avatar, where you can match the avatar with MetaMask, and also there's one additional kind of robot style avatar as well. Cool.
Awesome. What's next?
Yeah, so we have been building the mnemonic phrase for quite a long time, and we also are working with audit partners to audit this, the wallet as well. And in the next release, we will introduce the mnemonic phrase and HD wallets.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also there are going to be a very updated IoTeX staking flow to make it much easier and very easy to manage your rewards by staking.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's all for the products. Yeah.
Thanks for the overview. Yeah, a lot of things in the works, right? And these things are released in different stages, definitely. So excited to see the Webstream, the Metapebble, and these new IOP releases coming out. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. All right, jumping back to Raullen. Lately we've been meeting with so many traditional companies and device manufacturers that have their eyes on Web3 but never really knew how to start, right? But MachineFi has really caught their attention. Do you think we've reached an inflection point for MachineFi, and why is this new interest coming along from your point of view?
Yeah, so this is very interesting, right? So we are a platform standing between the Web3 community and the traditional kind of device manufacturers or IoT companies. So we talk a lot of them. We at least have a 20, 30 a kind of sizable IoT companies in our BD pipeline right now. So they all want to work with us. Why? Because we can help them to grow the machine networks they have, right? Usually distributing hardware, doing innovation on top of hardware is usually very hard, but we definitely have the kind of magic recipe to make it happen. I think we will make some really a major announcement in the coming weeks or coming days about something we're setting up, trying to bring all the IoT companies and also a top crypto projects all together. So this is the first step. We engage with the IoT community as well as a crypto Web3 community. And second, so definitely we saw some of them already start to do an integration with the Webstream in terms of install the SDK on their devices, using Webstream, the limited developer preview version we have internally, to trying to pipeline their data all the way up to the smart contract. So that is ongoing for quite a few companies. And third one, there's lots of talking about, should we have a Launchpad, some sort of a space or Kickstarter space to launch those very innovative, device IoT or MachineFi projects. So that's perhaps something so will also happen in the next 2 quarters. And finally, so once they launched, so definitely we are putting together a proposal. We will put this one on the government's portal as well by end of this quarter. So how do we, do the token economics to incentivize those companies, the innovators, to come here to basically hook up their devices, having the tech integration and be part of the Launchpad, some sort of interaction with IoTeX token. So this is a 4-stage strategy. So we're thinking about, and also some of this has also been executed. But all in all, this is kind of, got a lot of interest from those traditional IoT companies. So it's too early to say we are at a tipping point for the MachineFi. We're still wrapping up right now. So I think the strategy is pretty clear. So we start with Metapebble, which are still growing a very steadily. If you guys look at the survey report, which has been released maybe 2 days back, so there are some up-to-date number. So those number of those 2 devices is still growing very steadily. And on top of this one, so a Metapebble, like Qevan was talking about, is a third kind of source of devices we're looking into. So that is your cell phone, right? So so we aim to have a lot more devices in terms of cell phone by end of this quarter. Then starting from next quarter, so we should be able to real IoT devices from those real IoT companies kind of kick into the play. And that's where I feel like, this tipping point is actually getting close. But all in all, yeah, very exciting.
Absolutely. It's just really nice to be sitting in the middle of the Web3 and the Web2, right? Where we're educating the Web2 folks about Web3. We're also educating the Web3 folks about Web2, right? So part of it is influence, part of it is technology, and part of it is just being that bridge between the real and the digital worlds, right? So a lot of great progress. And like Raullen said, we'll have a new initiative that really encapsulates what we're talking about being announced very soon. Awesome. Jing, similar question to you, right? As more people recognize this massive potential of connecting the real world to Web3, we've seen it with apps like Helium and StepIn and things like that, but there's definitely more advanced and many other types of devices that are going to feed this Web3 universe, right? How do people get involved with this movement? We talked a lot about developers and builders, but I see some comments also here in the chat about, I'm not a developer. How can I get involved? How can people support the MachineFi vision overall? Oh, you're on mute, Jing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, definitely. I think, a lot of people really like us, when they see our vision, which actually stated in our vision paper, the MachineFi vision paper. And we have a kind of term called proof of anything, right? So basically, actually, we are kind of create innovation, kind of ground, which we kind of just like, enable all the builders, they can build anything, right? We enable all the kind of the manufacturers, device companies, they can connect anything to the the Web3 blockchain. We also want to kind of reward and benefit all the community members, users, investors. They can contribute, anything and to get rewarded. Right. So so basically, this is actually just like how we kind of just like, share the visions with different group of the participants. And then just like a very big part is, we are always kind of focused on the real world. We focus on the real world, activity, real world devices. We care people's real world presence, right? So we kind of just like, create those, innovation and make it amazingly kind of, real for all the people. This is a very big difference, from all the other kind of, use cases which are more 100%, on the virtual or the metaverse, right? So I would say there are so many ways, for our users to engage. Right now, they already start to engage with us through the Alipay, wallet, through our staking portals. But just like for the next stage, just like Raullen mentioned, I think just like the first phase will be as easy as using your phone, right? So for all the users, you have your mobile phone, and probably you can download in the Metapebble. You can choose which the app you want to access and participate into a new MachineFi economy. And then very soon, our mission and vision is, we will not only kind of empower one single kind of custom build devices. We want to empower all type of devices, all type of machines. They can easily connect to our protocols, right? And then just like you can imagine, even now, just like at average in the United States, everyone have kind of 5 devices or smart devices, at home. In future, you can imagine just like all the devices users, right? They will be easily to connect their devices with the Web3 infrastructure through all the toolkits we provide, including the portals, including the marketplace, and then just easily they can participate into the economy. And also we will see a lot of new devices, just like Raullen mentioned. Probably we will have a kind of launchpad or Kickstarter type of the platform, right? For the new device, developers, they can launch their own kind of devices. So that, and then just like the way for the users to connect is they just maybe grab some new devices, right? And those devices not only can provide them with the amazing kind of functionality they already enjoy, but also turn those, devices to be a revenue generating, reward generating kind of, machines for them, right? And then they grab devices and connect with our protocols and participate into one, the app which really attracts them, right? Or share the similar vision, and then get rewards by contributing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, No, awesome statement. It's really, just evangelizing this new way of powering the world, right? And it's worth noting that a lot of these applications, a lot of people think about it as just tech, right? Smart contracts, but a lot of like data science and even psychology goes into the design of these new applications. We're talking about like creating new business models, right? So whatever types of expertise you guys carry from your personal or professional lives, there's a place for it here on IoTeX. So check out our grants program and just get involved with some of the DApps that are going on. Awesome. But speaking of developers, right? Developers is really a huge focus for us this year. And it's exciting to see so many new developers building on IoTeX, whether it's through our grants program or working with device manufacturers and everything in between, right? Qevan, what's the best way for any developers watching across different skill levels to get involved with IoTeX?
Yeah, so first, we have newsletter just for developers. Feel free to sign up. And also, we have Discord. And there we also have a very regular developer meetings. And we also have people there to answer all the questions. Feel free to talk to them. And also, we are building a developer portal where developers can very easily find tons of tutorials and instructions, and also potentially they can write the tutorial for the community as well, so that developers can share their knowledge with each other. And yeah. So we are actually launching that very soon as well. Just stay tuned.
Yeah, just give everyone a little preview. This is something we didn't share, but this is just another sign of all the cool things going on behind the scenes. This is our developer portal beta, where all the developer resources that you're going to need, from deploying a MachineFi DApp to learning how to deploy a contract with Hardhat to even working with Arduino and Raspberry Pi dev boards. You can see we're priming it for the full launch, but don't want to just wait on the full launch where we can have even people creating a profile and sharing what they're building within the IoTeX network. Awesome, guys. We covered a lot. Talked about the investment side, the vision side, the developer side. But I think a lot of people are very curious about what's going to happen for the rest of the year, right? Both in the broader crypto market and also in IoTeX specifically. So this is kind of like a send-off question, very broad. What are you guys most excited for in the next few months? Maybe we start with Raullen.
Yeah, so keep your eyes open for what we're doing in the next months. Like I talked about, so we have internally several initiatives going forward in parallel. I think all of them going so well. Some on marketing side, some on BD side, some on the tech side, and some on the go-to-market side. So definitely, we're going to announce something really big. I think Larry knew about this one in about few weeks. And also we will have the first version for our Webstream, which is a critical piece for the entire MachineFi tech stack. Kind of have this developer preview version, coming out also very soon. So definitely a lot of exciting news.
Everyone knows that, I think at IoTeX we have a higher standard for releases. So, the longer we wait, the better it's going to get. But, a lot of this stuff is definitely coming soon. Qevan, what are you most excited for in the next few months?
Yeah, I would say, so first, for Metapebble, developers do not, developers who are mostly on the web-based, they can very easily to build dApps with Metapebble, and also with a MachineFi concept. And there are actually already a few developers involved in this, and I'm also very eager to see what they can do and what they can provide to the community as well. And also for the device developers who can directly use Webstream SDKs, and they're also going to be very kind of like a big projects for them to to build on. And I'm really eager to see how all the developers come together and bring MachineFi to life.
Absolutely. I think Raymond's quote said it very well about, reducing the timeline for a lot of developers to do things in months instead of years, right? So once we open up these products, it's really going to open the floodgates and allow people to start on those expedited timelines. So agree, it's going to be really awesome. And yeah, finally, Jing, what are you most excited for in the next few months?
Definitely adoption. Yeah, I think we already set a very good roadmap. Everything we go for the adoption, no matter if it's developer and if this is funding, if this is new talents, or if this is kind of just like the new branding, marketing, campaigns, which is ahead of us. So actually, just like we after the kind of the first round of the funding, we get a tremendous kind of interest from more investor, and we also get a deep kind of relationship with the current round investor. So there's something we are very excited. One is a collaboration with all those investor, right? So it's not only kind of they invest in the MachineFi lab, but we will kind of have more collaboration. Say they will bring more capital and they invest in our MachineFi ecosystem together with us. So that's a very big kind of part, which will kind of foster the growth of our community, of our ecosystem. And the second part will be all those kind of collaborations will kind of lead into more builders onboarding. So right now we are in the phase you can consider we are more like a developer platform, and first developer we help a developer to build, and then developers they can create this economy for the users to engage. So all the things is leading to very important growth and adoption stage for the MachineFi.
Yeah, all the things are really coming together, right? From the user side, the investor side, the developer side, and everything in between. It's not easy to weave these things in a way that really makes sense, but we've taken a lot of time to think about how all these different parts of the business and parts of the network really fit together, right? So yeah, really appreciate all the thoughts here. And I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from this group very soon. So I'll see you guys on the all hands in 5 minutes. Cool. Thanks guys for joining.
Internal. Yeah, internal.
Thank you for hosting. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, all the community.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, thanks so much. That's our town hall for today. Just want to remind for anyone that kind of joined late today, what we reviewed. We reviewed a lot of cool things about the state of the network, right? Just seeing some of these numbers growing day by day just motivates us to work even harder, right? I think the journey is still just 1% completed. We have a huge vision for what MachineFi and IoTeX are going to bring to the world, and we're just at the cusp of some really big milestones that are going to bring us to the next evolution of things, right? Some other really important things to mention is the governance process that we introduced. We talked a little bit about what's coming next throughout this call, but the governance process, really want to invite everyone to participate, right? Like your voice in the IoTeX community is so important. Not just about technology, right? Like we were talking about in the co-founders panel. There's so many ways to participate. When you think about how to construct the next killer D app, whether you are a data scientist that can help understand, the tokenomics that are embedded into these concepts, or you're in psychology even, where you start to understand how to change behavior through Web3 technology, or you work in an industry where you think some of these applications you're seeing being launched on the IoTeX ecosystem can fit into your traditional business. There's so many different ways to participate. And, whether it's research grants or data science grants, that's something we haven't seen too much of, but we invite everyone to, share their expertise. Everyone has a role in enabling this MachineFi future, right? So check out the new IoTeX forum, participate in these first governance proposals. And that's kind of the message for today. So, with that, really want to thank everyone for joining. We'll do more of these in the future and more ecosystem spotlights. and also, all sorts of different types of panel discussions. So really appreciate everyone's support, and we'll be with you guys very soon. I'm going to leave you guys with some IoTeX intro videos to stop here, but we'll see you guys next time.
Our world is powered by billions of smart devices that generate an incredible amount of data and value. This phenomenon is called the Internet of Things, or IoT. From smart homes and wearables to connected vehicles and renewable energy, the IoT is impacting everyone and everything. But today, the multi-trillion-dollar IoT industry is owned by centralized corporations that control our devices, mine our data, and earn huge profits with no value returned to users. IoTeX is here to change the status quo and build a future that empowers users, not corporations. We envision a world where everyday people can own and control their devices, as well as the data and value they generate. A vision we call the Internet of Trusted Things. By connecting the physical and digital worlds, IoTeX allows us to secure the data from billions of smart devices and extract value from it with next-gen dApps. Join IoTeX as we democratize access to the new machine economy and return power to the people. IoTeX is more than just a blockchain. It's a full-stack platform that enables trusted data from trusted devices for use in trusted applications. The IoTeX platform combines innovations in blockchain, identity, oracles, and hardware to make real-world data available to blockchain dApps for the first time. Secure hardware captures and signs real-world data that anyone can verify and trust. Real-world data oracles bring this verifiable data to the blockchain in a trusted manner. Decentralized identity enables humans and devices to own their data as digital assets. And blockchain enables users to earn and trade digital assets across the ecosystem of IoTeX dApps. The IoTeX blockchain is lightning fast and EVM compatible, allowing builders to port over Solidity-based dApps and tokens in minutes and enjoy ultra-low fees and 5-second block times with instant finality. Governed by a global network of delegates, IoTeX is the trusted and decentralized foundation to power your next big idea. The IoTeX network is home to an ecosystem of dApps, tokens, and services that connect the physical and digital worlds. By bringing real-world data to blockchain, IoTeX enables an entirely new category of use cases where users can earn digital assets based on their real-world data and actions. All types of machines can be registered to IoTeX and deliver facts about the real world to the blockchain, a concept we call proof of anything. From proof of activity to fuel decentralized healthcare, to proof of safety to settle insurance contracts, to proof of green energy to fuel renewable energy marketplaces. Real-world data will change everything for blockchain and spark a new era of innovation on IoTeX. With IoTeX, we can unlock liquidity for real-world assets and create brand new digital assets that will flow freely across our network of on-chain applications, information markets, and mining farms. And thanks to cross-chain bridges to Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and other top blockchains, our digital assets will interoperate with the blockchain universe for endless possibilities. Join our global community of pioneers and help shape the future decentralized economy. Welcome to IoTeX.